I'm Justin. I'm the Vice President of Construction with Green Canopy Homes. I have the honor and privilege of introducing Bec with Node. I'm super excited to hear about what you're going to talk about. We've had the opportunity to work together before, and I've known Bec for several years now. So please come on up. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bec Chapin with Node. I'm really excited to be here. Nothing excites me more than hearing all the good work in the world that people are doing. It's so easy to get, tied down and into all the things that are really going wrong. And then we come together in like-minded groups like this, and my little, my cup is full. My energy meter's back up. I'm ready again to face all the adversity in the world. So thank you so much for giving me that. What a gift. Y'all clapping for yourselves though, right? Okay, so we're building radically sustainable homes. And we're delivering them through an effortless customer service process. And we're doing it because of climate change. This is obviously the choir, so I won't go into it too much. But I do want to say that, so on the top right there, it snowed in the Sahara on Sunday. The Sahara Desert, specifically. And the bottom right there is the bomb cyclone, which the MIT climate models had predicted 10 years from now. They predicted the whole storm, but it's 10 years early. Because we don't know what happens when we cross the waterfall threshold of too much carbon in the atmosphere. And what we're learning is what we already know, and it's disastrous, right? And so buildings is that number up there. Buildings in the US, 47+% of carbon emissions. So those of us in the built environment here have a huge role to play in how much carbon goes in the atmosphere. And a lot of people want to talk about existing building stock, but the thing to know is that 75% of the buildings that we're going to be using in 2050 don't exist today. So right now, we're building the stock of that. So there's a lot of building that's going to be happening, and we have the choice and the chance to shape the future. Yeah, no small thing. So we think this is the answer. It's carbon negative buildings. It's buildings that give back more to the environment than they take. Buildings that become ecosystem services, not just extraction. Like, they're regenerative. You getting the point here? It's a resource for the earth part, which is the ball on the right. And, yeah. You guys are awake still. This is great. So, net zero, or zero net energy, as we're calling it now, just to trip me up, I think we flipped the words. It's great. It's the stepping stone we need to get to actual carbon negative. And we're talking about the entire process, the construction process, every material in the building, the recycling process, the reusing process. Where does it go in the end? Has to be good. So we talk about radically sustainable, and I believe in this room especially, we don't like the word sustainability because it's so greenwashed. But that's because we allowed it to get greenwashed. I'm guilty. We try to do our best, and we fit it into business as usual, and what the lift economy is teaching us is that we have to do different business. But as we're redefining sustainability, I'll tell you what radical sustainability means to us. Carbon negative, give you that one. Second one is no toxic materials. For the people that live in buildings, for the earth that provides the materials, and for the earth that has to absorb the waste materials that come from that building. We also mean flexibility. Can you move it? Can you reuse it? Can it serve different functions? Can you resell it? Can it be bigger or smaller in a couple months than it is now? Technology is threefold. Ultra-efficient design, so you need less resources. Then systems on top of that, solar, water, whatever, energy generation and capturing, so you can be off-grid if you need to be. And then the third part is, what happens when buildings become hubs of resources that we're sharing? So the power grid becomes the transferring of energy instead of just taking one dirty hub that's spitting out to all the buildings. We can share together. And then I think the most important thing is that It's the connection to nature, because nature heals us in big and small ways. And even when we're in our homes and our shelters, we should remember that we are part of nature. It's a matter of health.
Is this better?
We also sell homes. And we aren't just, we are committed to our lofty goals, but what we're really selling is a complete package. It's the whole thing. We like to call it the whole enchilada. And it's the iPhone experience of buying a home. Can you just be like, I want that one? And then you get that one, and you're like, oh, it's exactly as nice as I wanted it to be. And to do that, we're using off-site construction, and we're making a ton of systems because we want to deliver ease, sustainability, and technology. We want to do it on budget, on time, and reliably. And I don't know how many of you have built a home, but that's not a thing that anyone promises you. Green Canopy had to go promise it to themselves. So, another lesson that we took away, or taking away from Green Canopy, is there's no green premium. So we're committing to do a better product and a better service. We believe that you get good at what you measure. So we're measuring impact, specifically carbon emissions. We commissioned a study from the University of Oregon. This is the initial study findings. You can come talk to me later, we'll poke holes into it, but it's pretty good. We've got node on the yellow on the left, and then the gray on the right is the standard by the State of Oregon Department of Environmental Quality. What they've decided is the standard. And this is our prototype, which is our second building, completely integrated technology. And as you can tell, we're 90% better on this initial swipe. That's really freaking exciting. We didn't expect it to be this good. We were like, really? And there's a lot of improvement to do, because what we're trying to do is to get our little yellow column to flip to the south side of the x-axis, right? It's got to go down on the other side. So we're going to be tracking it, we're going to get there, and we're going to know the whole way, because it's what matters. So this is a little different, huh? Technology grows exponentially. We know this. I won't bore you with it, but 10 years ago, no one thought that solar was going to get as cheap as it is now. Solar is one of the cheapest forms of energy now, in 2018. And 10 years ago, everyone thought electric vehicles were a novelty. And now we know collectively that they're our future, and that we're going to see it as our future soon. And buildings are next. We know it, because they're tied to do those two things. Technology is a component that has to be integrated into the building. And off-site construction is also part of that solution. And off-site construction isn't new. It's been around for a long time. But what we're seeing is something different. We're seeing more and more venture-backed off-site construction companies, because more and more people are waking up and saying, this is a problem. There are so many problems in the building industry. Can't we solve this? And we're in that, right? But we're not an incremental change. We're a leap. Node is about jumping for it. This is about equity for us. We talk about equity and culture a lot for being an early stage startup, because equity to us is about stewardship of the planet, so that marginalized folks disproportionately feel the effects of climate change. How do we create a better place for everyone to continue to grow and live on our planet? And equity is about moving into the lift economy, into the next economy, and creating businesses that would exist in that economy. And it's about creating transformation of ownership, because ownership is the only thing that shows what future generations' health will be. Petra knows. That's speaking to my heart when you gave that presentation. And then it's about how people own our company. So our employees will own our company, they'll feel secure, and they'll also be getting profit sharing. We're going to find a way to share the wealth so not just the founders and the investors benefit. Because a company that benefits everyone is the only company we can see ourselves being a part of. So I'm here today with Don Bonnell, CEO and founder. I see him over there. And Tosh Drake is our architect design director. Here he's waving. And please come talk to all of us at the end. We are raising our seed fund, we're selling nodes, and all three of us get up to sell healthy buildings to make a healthier planet. So thank you.